Bars is a questionable future for me. I look at it like I don't know what happens to bars. I mean, I know there's a sect of people that will be bar loyalists till they fucking die, kind of thing, right? But
Well, they're
like,
alcoholics, so it's fine.
but alcoholics had to adapt their habits over the last year and a half.
Well, just yeah, I guess drink it at home.
But they adapt. No, the man, they're in the parks, bro.
Oh man,
They're in
yeah,
parks like crazy right now. Everybody's drinking in parks right now. It's fucking wild.
yeah. I should contest because I do live by like close by the water park or whatever here, and I do see a lot of people just kind of like chilling, drinking, and doing other questionable stuff.
I know the young people that I talk to aren't really that into bars due to the fact that drinks are expensive and they don't have money.
Yeah,
Or they're
but I've
rich and they like clubs, which is a whole other thing.
I've seen a lot of I don't know if it's like a lot going on in your neighborhood, but where I'm there's a lot of like parking lots that are just filled with young people driving their cars and just hanging out and like whatever drinking or doing shit and stuff like that. I don't know if that's gonna be the new trend now. Like
I do think that you're tapping into what the new trend is, especially here. I think, because let's be a little bit honest. A lot of the live local scene was not like in a fiscal sense profitable for the bar owner to host the hip hop show. It wasn't profitable for the rappers to be at the show, and it wasn't profitable for the promoter for the most part, or they'd break even. So
yeah.
like end of the day, this isn't like the signs of a healthy and thriving synergy between this type of venue and the people that are interested. And I think, but meanwhile, the best shows I ever performed at, and I've thought about this a lot recently, was at the Fatal Loft. I don't know if you've ever been down there,
Yeah, yeah, it's been a while though.
but like, because you could smoke weed inside and you could drink and you could just, it was maybe a little harder stuff happening there too.
Yes.
But like,
I'm trying to
and that shit
I'm
was
trying to
like,
remember when I was there.
it was like 80 people, 100 people max, but it would be like, I'm saying like I would do like 30-minute sets and these motherfuckers is glued to the stage watching you, and you're like, say word, and they're just lighting up and they're having a good time. And I was like, okay, so this can happen, but that's a whole different like vibe, because also we're like, so I guess it hit me like we're like underground hip-hop artists, and maybe that means we need like underground environments, because Fatal is kind of as underground as I ever went. No, that's not true. I also ended up in this building. It was fucking wild. It was just like, I don't know where it was. I couldn't for the life of me tell you. But you walked up your third floor, walked through some shit, and you're just in this room that's now like a venue, and it was a fucking like third floor of an apartment building. You had to go on the like balcony way to smoke pot type thing. It
Yeah.
was what I performed there. Yeah, that shit got shut down by the cops like right after my set. I was like, I had just finished. Shit got shut down. I was like, oh, say word. Fuck, I forgot about it. So, but those environments still had a lot of people. But like the bars, nah. Or like you go to the
No.
rave scene, man. Those. Do you remember like those like abandoned building rave parties in the
Yep.
2012 era? You'd have like 500, 1,000 people at some of these things.
There was a raid I went to. It was behind a Chinese restaurant. It
Oh
was like
my gosh!
do you remember?
I know I've been there.
It's the one. Yeah, it's they were playing. Well, when I was there, it was trap, dubstep, and maybe a bit of drum and bass or something. But I know they played various music on various nights. But yeah, it's like it's a downtown.
Yeah,
That Chinese restaurant
yeah.
underground.
And then they would
Yeah.
turn off the water, the cold water, so the only water available was warm water, so you would have to go fucking buy water bottles.
Yes, I remember because I went there like at 4, 3 after my gig. It was like 3, 4 in the morning, and a friend of mine was just like, "Hey, let's just go check it out," and whatever. I remember paying, I don't know how much it was, like $10 or whatever at the door. But then it's like you go in. I don't think they served alcohol, but they had energy drinks and yeah, bottled water.
That was it.
And I would
That was all
and
that
I was
was
just
sold there.
but yeah, but then I was just like, it was still a good time. I had a good time. It was just but yeah, I've like for sure a lot of those underground or whatever are happening right now as we speak, and but it's just hidden gems, right? So because again, those were the things about underground shows or under like warehouse shows, and I remember friends of mine that would do like little raves at like forest, like at a forest, like 40 minutes outside of Montreal at this little who knows where, and they would just play like jungle music and stuff like that. I've only been to a few times like after our like raves, but this is when I was like super young.
Yeah,
But
I went
like,
to well, my brother in 2012-ish, somewhere around when I started rapping for reals. My brother had been in the DJ scene for a minute, and he was like actively a DJ for like 3 years. And yo, so I would go to like support him and do
no.
Molly. It was amazing. And so like, yo, well, fuck, it was amazing. It was some of the best nights. Like, I don't give a fuck. I just wrote an album about doing Molly and striking out. Like, I fucking swear, I just recapped all those memories into a project that's
Yeah.
coming. But like,
Yeah.
it was truly incredible shit, man. The first time you stand in front of a speaker, ripped out of your fucking mind, listening to deep bass music is something that you will never forget for the rest of your life. Like, it is an
Hmm.
incredible time. Plus, you remember
Hmm.
the shit that happens when you're on Molly, so it's like a good one
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've never taken Molly. I've never taken shrooms. I've only been like drinking beer and smoking weed, but that's as far as I go in terms of like drugs.
It has
So,
been
but
probably half a decade since I've touched that. I'm not even gonna
yeah,
lie. It's like more like memories now.
yeah,
But as far as like the nature of being in the abandoned place, the grimy shit, where in all things considered, some of these places probably weren't very safe now that I'm in my
no,
30s. And
no,
like, but they were so, I mean, people would just be like doing everything everywhere. Like, you know, like it was like wild. It was, and I was like, as much as I don't want to fully recreate that, like, how do you recreate that? You know, like that's the magic of it. And I guess it has to be deep underground, secretive.
but that's a young man's game. Like, I think you could still all do all that. You just gotta, if depending if you're just, if you
I,
really want to go
I mean, I just
experiment again at
we'd
your
go. No,
age.
no, no. I mean, I'd rather just get like a loft and do it a
Yeah.
little like.
Yeah, do a loft or anything like underground, like warehouse or something. Like it's just like
I don't want to do the
I know.
drugs part. I just want the
I know.
cool party part.
I think shows like that would probably be good. You know what I mean? But again, it's just it all varies. Of course, for me, I want to keep it as safe as possible in terms of you know
Yeah,
what I
I like.
mean.
I'm not advocating that we should all go break into abandoned warehouses. I'm
No,
saying that those parties were fucking incredible.
yeah, they were because it's just like I just remember with those type of raves, parties, and stuff, it was new because, or because I don't go to those all the time. Like I like friends that I know that would go to like a lot of these stuff like that are just like underground. But I just remember a few times when I go, it was just kind of like eye opening because people were just kind of like they were just kind of like vibing out. I guess they were on drugs and stuff or whatever, but they were just kind of like feeling the music and like kind of like doing their kind of like whatever dance. And I'm just there on the side, just feeling the bass and feeling the heavy, the heavy, like music, feeling it. Because I don't. It doesn't take me. It doesn't take like drugs for me to kind of like feel the music, because
Mm.
I'm already just kind of like whatever on music in general. But I just remember just kind of like vibing out, opening my kind of like experience and just kind of like just feeling it in a sense where it's just like because again like I love drum and bass. Like every time I can go to a rave and listen to like old school like UK drum and bass anywhere, like I'll just kind of like eat that shit and just feel it. I love it as much as like let's say funk music and hip hop and stuff because drum and bass it just kind of has that kind of like fast paced kind of like jungle vibe feeling, you know what I mean? So like every time I play, like I listen to every time I drive or whatever, and there's like a drum and bass track, like I'll just crank it up and just feel it, you know what I mean? So man,
So
maybe I
like,
should
in my
yeah.
30s, where I'm currently at in life, yeah, I'm with you. Back
Yeah.
then, yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. prior to going to that rave and doing those, I think it was ecstasy the first time, and then the rest was Molly's because the speed shit was not my cup of tea. At all. That shit's fucking not my thing.
I don't think I could do it. Like, I was already hopped up on energy drinks and coffee at the time. I remember one point I was gonna have a heart attack because I was just drinking nothing but Red Bulls and vodka.
I was also like heavy into coffee for a minute, like way more than I am now. But like my brother did a lot of speed, and it was like, yo, I tried a quarter pill one time. I couldn't fucking sleep. I felt like an asshole the entire next day. It was not my shit. But I do remember the first time, like when I went to my first rave, I was not into EDM. Like, I did not like the genre of music. I did not fuck with it. There were no lyrics. And at that time in my life, if the shit had no lyrics and I couldn't fucking rap or sing along to it, what the fuck was the point of me listening to it? That was really where I was at in my life. Then I did a lot of that. I got high as a kite, man. It was fucking wild. But the music was all I remembered. And then I remembered sobering up, and I loved it still. Like, I loved the music and the vibe. And I felt like for the first time in my life, I understood who this music was for.